Peace, everyone. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I've been called a liar, so the title of this show is "I'm a Liar." Let's put context to it. The truth finally revealed. The more Khalil Lamani speak, the more truth I'ma reveal. I must do that to prove what I gotta prove. So let's do what we gotta do. So Khalil the Money Wall. We're not gonna show Layla Will bitch ass. So he's a liar. Video coming. So I'm gonna address it before the video come. Right? I'm gonna address it before the video come, which gonna make it harder for him to speak on it in whatever manner he wants to speak on. So now, 2013 is the year Khalil Money came out. He's gonna say that in the video. He's gonna speak on it a little bit, like a phrase or a statement or whatever. Now, within damn, I'm bad. I went on the screen. So the title was got the wrong thing up. Close that because I ain't went live on that yet. Let me get back over here to this one. So he's gonna speak on it a little bit. He's gonna say DJ K. Slade told him to do this and everything. But what it is a statement, a phrase in the movie. Now the movie ain't Friday. Well, you get your little phraseologies and stuff that you steal from the movie and use and stuff. It's a documentary. And I don't know how many people remember phrases from documentaries unless they're comic documentaries or something like that. So, with context, we can learn, right? So, what we're going to do is we're going to deal with it, right? So, what we're going to do, we're going to go to Layla Wills, LEILAWILLS. Boom. Which the page is called Trapped in the Culture now. We're going to put Khalil name in the search bar. We're going to put him in the search bar. We're going to pull him up. So he actually got two videos over there. Let me show y'all. He got two videos over here on Trapped in the Culture because he's trapped in the culture. Trapped in the Culture, Africa, Bambaataa, Zulu Nation Part 20 or 44, and Trapped in the Culture, Africa, Bambaataa, Zulu Nation Part 36. So we got a Part 20 and a Part 36. I believe it's Part 36, in which he speaks on it more towards the end or whatever. But we're gonna deal with it because I believe she talked to him about the coat. Yahweh ben Yahweh, and she talked to him about Bambaataa. But we're gonna see. We're gonna listen right quick. We're gonna listen. So this is a disclaimer that's up under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for criticism, comments, news, reports, teaching, scholarship, and research. So we research and things of that nature. Let's deal with 36 first.
But he was a more recent put in place, and so he missed all the action. And not only that, by that time, if you hadn't grown up with Yahweh Ben Yahweh, you weren't getting too close to him. It's like trying to get close to Mr. Park. We had hotels on Miami Beach, like they.
Did Yahweh mess around with UFOs also? And was he from another planet, or did?
Okay, that's not it. We're gonna go to 20 when he's talking about Bambaataa, if that.
I just said, wow, there's not one comment of, yeah, that's right. Hip hop is for the oppressed, the marginalized, the disenfranchised. That's gay people too. Yeah, come on in. Nobody would say that. So
this Bambaataa situation, how does that change hip hop history? Does it just change Bambaata's history? How do you look at this affecting hip hop?
Okay.
This alleged homosexuality, not just the pedophilia, but knowing that or alleging that he's
So you can see in the documentary they talking about homosexuality and Bam's homosexuality. Once again, putting that P in the LGBTQIA plus community. The video I just played showing y'all that he wanted to argue with me about that. What did I lie? We're gonna keep listening.
Homosexual.
Right. Along the way, I had been writing articles trying to show how, if you know, like disco, and it had a strong gay influence, and with the dresses and you look at the Village People, and you look at Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, you look at the costumes, you couldn't tell who's gay and who's straight. So I would write articles trying to bridge that gap between the gay agenda, which was part of the disco era, and hip hop. And I said back then that I think that there has to be some gay rappers in there, even though no one wants to come out.
See, so as you can see, he was pushing the gay agenda or the homosexual or the same gender loving agenda back then in the documentary about Bambaataa, because that's what they was trying to do with Bambaataa. Put a pedophile in the LGBTQIA community.
But I clearly was saying that there will be a time when a gay rapper will come out and he will be dope. You know, it hasn't happened yet as far as I know, but he will be dope. And so that's the kind of stuff I began to advocate about after having a discussion with DJ Kay Slay. And then I submitted an article to his magazine, Straight Stunting. It's called Why Gay Hip Hop Rap. Now, I didn't know Kay Slay was going to put my name on the cover and really make it a big thing, but he did it in 2008. So
he's always trying to promote that he's a big deal. His legacy. I'm fucking it up, y'all. Now, it's a copyright disclaimer up here, but he, Troy, or Layla may strike this video.
There is an issue of Straight Stunting magazine, which is basically for lack of a better word, a booty magazine, chicks, but it has a hip hop tones in it. And there's my article, and there's my name right in the front with next to Mano and Busta Rhymes, Khalil Amani, Why Gay Hip Hop. I'm like, whoa, this is kind of dope, I guess. So I began to advocate, but I took a lot of heat. I got called a faggot by everybody and their mother. And in the beginning of those days, I was on MySpace and other forums. It would hurt my feelings. I would say, no, I'm not. I'm married. I got a wife. I got 3 kids. I'm a grandfather, trying to defend my sexuality and my masculinity. But after a while, I was like, okay, whatever. It's like, I'll be that. Like Redman would say, I'll be that.
Oh, you guys, you heard it back then about Bambaataa, but how does this now affect this billion-dollar industry? Or does it? Or does it not?
I don't think this affects the industry because if you notice, there's a curious hush-hush about the whole thing from real insiders. You don't hear.
From real insiders, there's a hush-hush. He's not mentioned to me at all, though he been kicking it with me for a couple months now. He's writing things in the inbox saying, I'm going to let Layla Wheels know about you. He ain't telling Layla Wheels nothing about me. See, he's a liar. He's a fraud.
The movers and shakers, a P. Diddy or a Jay-Z, you don't hear them. No one is responding and saying, is this really true about Bambaataa? It's basically gone, as far as it just kind of gone unnoticed. I'm sure they know about it, but his presence must be so powerful that no one wants to really take it there.
Do you think it?
So, do you think Star, Layla Wheels, and Khalil wanted to take it there? if Puff Daddy, Jay-Z, Pharoah Monch, Raekwon, hip hop names and stuff that's been with K Slay won't speak on it, why you think, a con sharp or a failure, ex Yahweh Ben Yahweh, Memo would take it there? Or a Canadian journalist by the name of Dave Wedge, and anybody will take it there. The Arkansas YouTuber would take it there. But that's why the Arkansas YouTuber gets so much.
It's that powerful, or do you think he could be irrelevant?
Well, I think part of it is that he is irrelevant because you ask the young group today who's Bambaataa, they don't know who Bambaataa is. He's more relevant to people who are maybe 40 and up. But to the young hip hop he's irrelevant. But I think there's enough old people still in the genre, in the culture that should be speaking up. Certainly a Jay-Z or Busta Rhymes. Anybody like that should be able to. Say something, to have a voice to say something about it. Because from what I understand, it was common knowledge. This is common knowledge. Here I'm hearing it in 2007.
See, so he heard it in 2007 before the rest of the world knew it. He never said nothing though. That's how he got in the club. That's why you would catch him on toilets, throwing a Rockefeller sign up and everything else. Throwing up the Masonic signs and shit. That's who he is.
Yeah, in the Midwest, I'm hearing about this guy being gay and being a pedophile in 2007. Certainly guys in New York City and within the industry have to know this stuff, but no one is speaking about it.
So you can see in the video that there's something up there, because one sec, who is it? Well, one sec. Oh, you early as hell today. I'm on YouTube though. So. Woohoo! So as you can see, my argument of things happened in 2013 is legit, but nobody gives me credit for my argument and stuff. They try to destroy my life and hit me with slaps and all kind of stuff. But even in the documentary, like I said, there are statements made, but unless you got a trained eye to look at the statements, how they need to be looked at, you will look over them. So this is called research. Let's get back to research.
Bambaataa date raped some guy. The guy woke up, stabbed him, and that's basically the story. And so the next morning I got up and I wrote the article. It was called Afrika Bambaataa, Gay and Date Raping.
So Afrika Bambaataa is gay and he's date raping. That's what he wrote. And being a damn good writer with a so-called pen and shit, he inserted in the mind of the general public that Afrika Bambaataa is gay and date raping people. He would not put it in a proper context that he was a pederast date raping. Remember, he known since 2007 that he liked fucking little boys. Allegedly, that's what he heard from K Slay, to be exact. He heard this in 2007 that he liked fucking little boys. Now he didn't rape the little boy. But that's not a pederast. That's a gay man that's doing that. So we're going to give it context because I can speak on it. But mostly I throw it out there to see if a bitch nigga will bite. Because you got to attract the fish. You don't go catch the fish. You got to attract the fish. You got to put the proper bait out there and dangle it in a motherfucker face until they're attracted by it and they bite the hook. And once you got them on the hook, you reel their ass in. I'm a fisherman. So therefore, we fishing.
And then I began my article because I was a fan of Africa Bambaataa. I didn't want to do this to the brother. And I was like, tell me it's a lie, you know. But there's certain rumors that have legs and they travel. And this ugly rumor has come to my attention by industry insider. And it wasn't just him. I got it from a Zulu insider too that hit me up on Twitter and says, can you call me? And I'm
see, he don't want to say that DJ Kay Slay was telling me all this shit. But I got all the videos where he said it clear as day. That Kay Slay was telling me all this shit. 7 years before that, he told me Bam like fucking little boys. How do he know? Because he used to go get the little boys for Bam to fuck. But he can't tell you all this. But he sat down with me and talked daily. Like he said, I was on his ass calling them and doing shit because I was recording the phone calls. I was getting the stories of Shabir Bey and Bambaataa called me and we was talking. And I ain't know Shamir Bey was a Bambaataa. You didn't know Bambaataa and Shamir Bey was whatever they are? Come on, my nigga. But you supposed to be bad as me. Who's bad? So we just gonna play a little bit more of this and see what the fuck he say tonight with the I'm lying.
I'm like, okay. And I thought he was calling me to tell me something bad. I don't know. But he called me within that same week that the article went out. And he told me that his father was a Zulu member, Zulu Nation security guy. And that his father had confirmed the stabbing and had told him about some things that happened in Brazil and across the pond in England. So he gave me all this information. So I wrote this article and I put it out there and I gave it at the time I was writing for allhiphop.com. And I prefaced my article to them by saying, I don't know if you want to run this, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. And y'all can, you know, because they were treating me, because my writing is kind of crazy sometimes. So I don't get a lot of play. But anyway, they didn't run it. But somebody within allhiphop.com took the article and reposted it on their private allhiphop.com page or something. Yeah, it was their page. And it began to travel. Then I saw it here and I saw it there. And I was like, if I left it alone, I was done, did my job. Maybe about 4 or 5 days later, I get another call from DJ Kay Slay, and he tells me that he got a call from the Zulu Nation officials saying that they recognize that this article, it was written by someone who writes for your magazine, DJ Kay Slay, and tell the brother he needs to take it down.
See, when I told him to go to the FBI, he said he's never been threatened before. He's a lie. If y'all haven't noticed that Khalil Money comes in these YouTube streets and lie, he'll do his best to jump on a woman to try to prove himself to be credible. He's not credible. He lies. And look back, wonder, because we're looking back at what took place in 2016 and 17. What even took place in 2013. But he can't talk about that. He gonna try to prove me a lie to hold his some respect in these streets, but he's a lying son of a bitch. a literal lying son of a bitch. I'm done. Good luck tonight, Khalil.